Now, several lakes and rivers across our region are under a flood watch.
Yeah, Fox 13's Dan Griffin in Olympia this morning, where crews are urging people to avoid the downtown area for possible flooding there. Hey, Dan.
Hey, good morning to you both. Yeah, you know what? This is why. I'll tell you, this road, we're on 4th Ave right now in Olympia, did not look like this, I'd say even 5, 6, 7 minutes ago when we drove over here just to find a safe spot to perch our car. Look at all this water here. There are crews out here. They have been putting down sandbags. They've got some of these streets blocked off. They're telling people not to drive through this, but we've seen plenty of people doing just that. So this is what we're seeing right now is that high tide has moved in. I think we're right at the heat of it right now. I think hitting about a little more than 16 feet. We're close to Percival Landing and also Heritage Park, I don't believe is too far from us as well. From what we understand, some of the oldest sections, by the way, the boardwalk over here at Percival Landing built to, I think, a tidal elevation of about 18 feet. So they've been seeing some of the water making its way up over there, I think, on some of those lower sections. I don't know how low those go, but I think they were posting some pictures of Olympia Fire of water reaching some of the boardwalk sections. So this is what we're seeing right now as that high tide moves in. You can see it here over the road. Pretty good amount of water here, too, and it does seem to be creeping up pretty quickly. You can see down the street where they've got the emergency crews. They've got that truck parked there with the cones. They've been using some of those cones to block off 4th Ave. You can see some of those workers, I believe, down there in the orange, much farther down. I believe they were carrying some sandbags, too. So what I'd like to do is see if we can walk over this way and see if it's any worse over here. You can see this car is about to pull through right now, this truck, and they're gonna drive on through. It's really kind of gotten up there in depth this morning here. So this is what we're seeing. Again, fire crews telling people to avoid this area if they can because the water has been creeping up. And I can see if we can walk over this way how much deeper it gets. This section of this parking lot over here, I just saw a UPS truck drive through as well. It gets pretty deep. I believe this is Simmons Street, straight up ahead of us here. I'm gonna walk this way and see if we can just give you a better glimpse. Yeah, okay. This is what we were seeing as we were driving in this morning. You see all this water basically overtaking the street here and coming up to some of the cars as well. This is exactly why they were warning people not to come to the downtown area for a while until this kind of cools down. You know, we've had all this rain, and of course you get the high tide, and good morning. And this is what you see. So you've got this car here parked, and all of this water that has moved in as the high tide is coming in this morning. So again, you can see much of this covered here, and yeah, I'm just kind of taking this all in for a second. You see some cars as the water is coming up over there as well. This is exactly why they're telling people to avoid the downtown area here in Olympia right now as we see this high tide. Of course, we'll be here. We're going to keep looking at this, watching as this water comes in. But they've got a lot of these spots, these intersections here, blocked off by cones. Not this one exactly, but just, I believe, a street over is the one that we saw here as well. So we're going to be here watching these conditions, and well, here's a car right now. This is exactly what they told.
Yeah, Dan, I mean, we're seeing these cars drive through, and we always say, you know, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Talk about.
Oh, and this one right here, pretty nice vehicle.
Yeah,
Who would drive that through the water?
It absolutely is. I mean, what would you say about how high this water is? Because it looks like it's coming up over the sidewalk at a certain point. I know, obviously, you can't measure it specifically, but how high has it come up at this point?
Yeah. Well, I'm trying to get a good grasp of this. I'm going to see. Let me see if I can. Let's see. Oh,
I mean, that is,
I mean, to my wrist.
Because you're right. Because you're
and
on
it's
the,
cold.
You're on the sidewalk right now, right? And that's the street. That's
yeah. I'm on the sidewalk.
flooded.
That was just down the curb. Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
It's deep enough that I wouldn't want to drive my car through it. I'll say that. So the people who keep doing that, you know. All right, I guess, but I certainly wouldn't want to.
And,
and the thing that really surprises me is how quickly. Yeah, that's what I was going to say. That's the thing that's surprising to me is it's not swift, right? So it doesn't come rushing in, but it is coming up quickly.
Yeah,
you know, I've noticed just since we got here how quickly that water has really come up over this part of the road because it didn't look like this not that long ago.
Yeah, especially if you have like a compact car, like you have that car across the street there. I mean, it was almost to the door line, the bottom of the door line there. So this water is just rising in downtown Olympia.
Right. Yeah, that guy was driving a Camry, you know, so it's like it's not a necessary necessarily a high car. And by the way, look at this too. I believe that's a storm drain right there. You can see it's like gurgling from the water coming up there as well.
Yeah.
It has just been making its way in here. And this is exactly, again, why they are driving around, putting these cones down, telling people, hey, don't drive in this and stay away for a minute. Give it a second here, because this high tide just came right on in. You know,
Exactly.
I mean, it's essentially the same idea as, you know, any other type of flooding. You know, turn around and don't drown, don't drive your car into it, at least.
Yeah.
I can just imagine the kind of damage it would cause to a car, too, and just a bad day. So, but this is what we've been seeing here, and it is pretty, it's been coming up pretty quickly.
Wow.
Dan, I appreciate you. Let us know if the situation changes out there. I'm sure we'll go back to Dan and get an update on that.
It's crazy how quickly that water has risen over the past few minutes.